Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody, happy Friday. If you are new, please make sure to subscribe. And then if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Although we are talking about a pretty serious thing today, and that is the John Tavares injury. And he went down after an accidental collision with Corey Perry. And it was just terrible to watch. I think it definitely is the most terrifying accident I've covered on this channel since I started making videos about a year ago. It's been a little bit under a year, but still. We'll talk about that and what the Maple Leafs should do going forward, and we'll see how that goes. Now we do know that Corey Perry didn't do it on purpose, and it was an accident because of the speed of the game, and it was still brutal to watch because Tavares' body went limp as the trainers, the medical personnel tried to pick him up and he fell backwards. Really rough, although it looks like he is okay now in the sense that he was cleared from the hospital. I think everything's checked out. However, for the Maple Leafs, he is out indefinitely, and I think we expected that anyway. So going forward, what do the Maple Leafs do? Because obviously you just lost your captain. The big thing they need to do, step back and probably just get all the emotions out from the Tavares injury. Listen, I'm not saying they have to sit down together and cry or anything like that. If they do, that's fine. But they're going to have to deal with it rather than having it linger around. And it's hard to, not think about one of your guys getting injured like that. I played football from the time I was 4, and I wrestled for about 8 years. I saw some pretty serious injuries to my teammates in that time, and it's really hard. It's really hard to get that out of your mind, so I know it will be even more so for them, just because they've been around each other for a long time, and you'll have to figure out how to deal with that. And the second thing is they're going to need guys to step up in order to be leaders, and now that their captain is out, you lost a leader, and you're going to have to figure out who's going to step up, at least on the ice. Now, I have 2 people in mind for that, probably Austin Matthews. He's at that point of his career where he should be a leader, and I think he is, and I do think he shows some leadership qualities. Now it's time to see whether or not he could be that captain material in the post-Tavares era, whenever that would happen. Obviously not right now, but just to see if he could be. Now, the second is Nick Foligno. He was the Columbus Blue Jackets captain for about 6 years, and I'm not even saying that he would be the guy that would be the true leader, but he is a true leader, if that makes sense. I think that he would probably be the reason of the voice of reason for younger players, and probably a guy like the guy that Matthews could talk to when things get tough. So maybe just an additional leader, which is always great to have additional leaders in a locker room. Finally, then this is the unfortunate part, and this is not to be rude, this is just the reality of it. You have to move on from the injury, at least in the sense where you get back in the playoff mindset, because unfortunately it is a business, and it is sad, but people will just absolutely go after you if you flop in the playoffs after this, because the Maple Leafs finished first. They haven't won a playoff series in forever, and it's a cutthroat world, and that's just how it is, so you have to find a way to at least put that in the back of your mind at least. No, I'm not saying totally forget John, but there are expectations, and you have to fulfill those expectations, otherwise you face the wrath of the media. They did lose their third leading goal scorer. We'll see how that goes, but now you have time to see who's going to step up and who's going to fill that goal-scoring role. I do think someone like William Nylander should fill that role, just to see how good he could be. Looking at his career, I think he's one of those guys that started out as the Maple Leaf babies, and then now it's Marner's and Matthews, and you don't hear as much about Nylander, but I do think Nylander should try to get some of that attention back on him, not in a selfish way, but I think people should say, hey, he's a really good hockey player, maybe he doesn't get the credit he deserves, and go from there, because at one point he was highly touted, and I still think a lot of people think of him as a good player, but I think it might have tapered off compared to what it was. Now, regardless of who steps up, it's obvious that, multiple players are going to have to, because their captain's gone. It was a terrifying thing in the moment. It's still tough now to deal with, but Montreal is knocking on the door. They're trying to do this upset here, and you could be looking at potential Carey Price, playoff mode Carey Price. That's not something you want to deal with. In Game 2, we're going to see whether or not Toronto could hypothetically lose the series. If they do go down 2-0 going into Montreal, that'll be tough. Not saying they couldn't win it, but one of those things, an injury like this really could affect the team going forward. Now we have to see how they bounce back. It is devastating, but the Leafs have to win this series for Tavares, and I know you wouldn't expect any less from them, so we'll see what goes on from there. Again, please make sure to subscribe if you are new, and then give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I know it wasn't a very happy topic, but it was something we did have to cover, and that was one of those things I didn't want to make this seem like, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video or anything, Peppy, because it was serious, and it was really, really awful to see him down on the ice like that, and hopefully Tavares will get healthy and maybe come back next series if they advance. I don't know, but we'll see going forward. Everybody, stay safe, have a great day, and stay away from COVID, alright? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.